Good morning.
Good morning.
Just a little bit after 10 o'clock. Everybody's here that needs to be here. I love that. Welcome to the Positive Living Center. Old friends and new friends. I don't particularly see any new people. So my name is Reverend Dr. Judy DeRosa. And can you hear me okay? Sandy, oh yes, okay, good. It's absolutely beautiful outside.
Yes.
It was kind of hard to show up actually. But here we are. And if you have phones, please turn them all off, or at least, let them speak quietly to you. I appreciate that. For everyone that's here, there's a card in the front of your chair, and it has the prayer of protection and the offertory. If you'd like to join in with us, we'd love to hear your voice. You can take it home if you'd like to share it with someone. Today is our day together, but this is the year of creating a healthy lifestyle. And our themes for the month of April are endurance related to physical health, which I can't even think about endurance. I'm moving right now from my studio, so I can use all the endurance there is. And harmony related to our mental health. Oh yes, indeed. And love related to our spiritual health. So many things cross my mind. And our beloved Lori B. Ballard is here, and she will be helping us with our meditation. So get yourself comfortable, settled in, feet on the floor, spine comfortable, and we'll listen to Lori.
These are the gifts of the goddess, love, joy, and peace. Gifts of the goddess, are you ready to receive? All the gifts of the goddess, love, joy, and peace. Gifts of the goddess, are you ready to receive? Love, are you ready? Joy, are you ready? And peace, are you ready? Are you ready to
Teach me to trust my heart, my mind, my intuition, my inner knowing, the senses of my body, the blessings of spirit. Teach me to trust these things so I may enter my sacred space and love beyond my fear as I walk in balance with the passing of each glorious sun. As we return to our body, we hold loving, balanced energy. Thank you so much, Lori. That was beautiful. Everybody come back balanced and calm. Feeling good. For our spiritual talk this morning, for Patty, she's going to come up and share with us her wisdom.
You're a wise person now? Absolutely. Thank you, Judy. Judy, thank you for being here. Sandy, thank you for being here. John, Joe, LJ, everybody, thank you for being here. I appreciate every one of you. Thank you for being here. Now, the last time that Lori B. Ballard graced us with her musical presence, she mentioned something and it kind of stuck with me about how she hadn't been really paying attention or watching the news. And I got thinking, I'm like, oh yeah, the news just bums me out a lot. Those talking heads just, so I started looking at alternatives to getting my news. And there's something called 1440 that's kind of interesting. It's just kind of straight news, like the Walter Cronkite of the internet. No opinions, no talking heads. Another one, like NPR is always good. I also get a newsletter called California Sun that's just California news. And I was surprised the other day. I'm reading my California Sun in the morning, and there's this photograph of a young Black man with a backpack on his back and carrying a banjo. I kind of looked at it and I'm like, I know that guy. And I started reading the story. Oh, am I not there? I started reading the story about him, and I'm like, yeah, I did know him. His name was John Francis. And this story was kind of based on Earth Day because he has a lot to do with Earth Day. And I hope you all had a wonderful Earth Day. And and this Earth weekend is turning out pretty good too. Like Judy said, it was hard to get here today. But so this guy, John Francis, he lived up in like Point Reyes Station up in Marin County. And I was up there in the 70s myself. And I always saw this guy around town, and he refused to ride in a car. He walked everywhere with his backpack and his banjo. And you'd see him all over Marin County. He'd show up, I was attending College of Marin up there, and he'd show up on campus, and he was a real hardcore environmentalist. And the reason he became an environmentalist is because he witnessed a terrible oil spill that happened in the San Francisco Bay in 1971, and like almost 500,000 gallons of oil spilled, and it was, one of the big environmental disasters of that time. And he just said, I'm not going to drive a car anymore. I'm not even going to use one. I'm going to walk everywhere. And a lot of us, we look at him and it's like, yeah, he's one of those strange guys from out there in Point Reyes. All the hippies lived out there. And I hadn't really thought about him much. I remember talking to him, and we got along. We played some music together, and his family was from Philadelphia, like mine was, but I had completely forgotten about him. So I saw this picture, and I started reading the story, and this guy was amazing. I had thought that he was, just one of those kind of crazy guys that lived out in West Marin. Well, he was a crazy guy from West Marin, but here's what he did. He walked his way all the way up to Oregon and got into a university there and took an environmental studies course and earned a bachelor's degree. This is all without driving. And also, by the way, right before that, he decided he wasn't going to talk anymore. He took a vow of silence because he was quite adamant about his environmental stance, and he'd get into arguments with people. And he realized that wasn't getting him anywhere, so he just decided one day to stop talking. And one day turned into 2 days, turned into a week, turned into a month. Eventually turned into 17 years. He did not speak a word. Can you imagine that? So, and during this time, when he walked everywhere, did not speak a word, and went up to Oregon, got his bachelor's degree in environmental studies, and then went to, I think, somewhere in Missouri or something, and got his PhD. And on Earth Day, 1990, this is like, it was 20 years since the first Earth Day, he decided he was going to break his silence. And he invited his family and stuff. He was on the East Coast, and to come and hear him speak. And so he stood up there and he said, "Thank you for being here. I appreciate you all." It's the first words out of his mouth in 17 years. And that's why I said that. If you're interested, he has a wonderful TED Talk. His name, again, is John Francis, and you would be blown away by it. It was really good, but it was interesting that I'm like, oh, wow, I knew this guy. And I had no idea. He's now, an appointee of the United Nations. He has written oil spill guidelines for the US. He has done a bunch of amazing things. And he was that crazy hippie guy from West Marin. And I realized I didn't appreciate that. And you just don't know how people are going to turn out. And you just don't know about the power of silence, because he found that when he was silent, he really, really learned how to listen. And I feel really blessed that I knew him, though briefly. I feel really blessed that I ran across that article because it gave me a little insight into, how our teachings make you see the world in a bigger context, much bigger context. So I hope you all enjoy the rest of this Earth weekend. Go plant a tree, enjoy the sunshine, and know that I thank you all for being here. God bless.
Thank you, Patty. No coincidence, huh?
Yeah.
It's how the universe works. I love the divine plan, and we're all a part of that. We forget, and then we remember, and then we forget. That was lovely. Our wonderful speaker is Joe Bull. Would you please welcome him?
Good morning.
Good morning. I'm gonna have to
Yeah, I'll fix it for you.
cut you up, yeah.
It's all
With the big guy, because he's got the big stand, and if he can't have a lobotomy, there we go. Much better.
Thank you. Good morning. I'm trying to get used to being a reverend. I became a reverend a few weeks ago, so it's still kind of new to me. But I think I'm catching on. I want to talk to you this morning about harmony and peace. The secret to all progress is in a positive way, is getting into the right relationship with the universe. That's the secret. Don't tell anybody else. That's our secret. That's how we figure out how we become more acquainted and more connected with harmony and peace. Being in tune with infinite order is harmony and peace, the law of creation, and moving with it in its mighty rhythm is harmony. That mighty rhythm. The book, The Hidden Mystery of the Bible, says everything must remain in harmony with God life. The only thing not in harmony with perfect life is our reaction to it, how we respond to it or react to something. In the Four Agreements book, it always says, take nothing personally. Take nothing personally. This keeps you in harmony and peace, if we can do this. With peace and harmony, we deal with disputes and resolve conflicts from a neutralizational position. Neutralizational, yeah, I said it right. That's a word. And Dr. Ernest Holmes, Science of Mind founder and author, said, infinite love harmonizes our entire body, our entire being. So how do we maintain this infinite love flowing through us outward? Well, it starts from within with you and me. That's where we start. Harmony comes from within us. We are feeling, seeing, touching, emotional beings, aren't we? And we can't get away from who we are. I suggest that to maintain our harmony and peace, we simply stay away from people. That's the secret right there. Just stay away. Don't talk to anybody. Don't text them. Don't take any calls. And you'll stay in perfect peace and harmony. Now, if that's not practical for you, I've got another method you can try. How about we go within and begin with God's infinite power to help us stay in harmony and peace in all situations. I mean, all situations. Let's start our day by waking up and saying, good morning, God. Good morning, Spirit. This is something I do each and every day. I wake up, sit up in bed, and go, good morning, God. Thank you for me being here again today to take care of my family, to take care of myself, to help others. I'm just grateful to be on this planet because we're here for a very short time, people. So we really should be having fun while we're here. When we are saying to ourselves, good morning, God, we're saying it to ourselves at the same time, aren't we? There's only one mind, right? Ours and God's, one mind. Take time to pray and to meditate. It's a great way to start our day. It's a great way to start. But I've had people tell me they don't have time to pray and meditate for 30 minutes. They just don't have that kind of time. I said, okay, how about start with 3 minutes, a 3-minute prayer, a 3-minute meditation. And people usually say, yeah, I can do that. I've got time for that. It's a start, right? How about we go for a short walk or move our bodies, exercise at home, get the blood flowing physically for ourselves. These little things that we do are what I call BTNs, better than nothing. It's better than nothing, right? This year has been deemed the year of creating healthy lifestyles, meaning physical, mental, and spiritual health. Reverend Michael Beckwith, leader of the Agape Church in Culver City, California, where I was born, by the way, said we have to understand and wake up to the reality that we can have a wonderful experience while we're on this planet. We can do this by having a spiritual practice, a daily spiritual practice. It helps us mind our minds. It helps us mind our thoughts so they are working for us and not against us. We can and will control our day using our spiritual practices. We have this power bestowed upon us to see the good in everything and everybody. It helps us to overcome our tendencies to look at the world as lacking or as sadness or not enoughness. Our spiritual practices help us to get to a point of feeling good, feeling loved, feeling confident with harmony and peace. Are you with me so far? Does that make sense? God, I hope so. Okay, so we start our day using our spiritual practices. We're ready to get our day going. We feel good, all is well. And then suddenly, as we go out in the world, we run smack dab into a negative situation. It happens, right? It's a very temporary thing, but it bothered us. This thing showed up and it's gone. It's gone, but it bothered us. And it kind of starts to stick right there in our minds, going, man, that person was crazy, what they just did. We move forward, but instead of just brushing it off of us, that little thing starts to affect our mind and our day. We seem to have suddenly forgotten that all the power we have within us is gone. Our peace and harmony seems to have taken off because of this one incident. Now the world is kind of taking us down its path. We seem to have lost our control over our minds and peaceful thoughts. Still thinking about that situation. Remember when I talked to you guys about life itself being the tennis racket versus the tennis ball? Do you remember that? No. It was really a good talk too. You want to be the tennis racket in life. The ball is your life, and the tennis racket, you want to be the racket that controls the ball of life. You are in charge of your world. So you want to be that tennis racket. Now we're becoming the tennis ball here, letting life circumstances control us over one incident, just one. We don't like this circumstance, and we don't even like the mood that we've all of a sudden come into. Now we've got this mood going on, and now we're kind of waiting for something else bad to happen to us. We're spiraling downhill. So you're trying to get past this thing, and you're moving on your day, and all of a sudden somebody shows up in front of you, someone that you really don't care for, but you're ready for them now. I'm ready. I've got my shields up. I've got my guns up. say the wrong thing to me, and boy, I'll let you have it, because now I'm in this mood. I can handle anything. You see how this can develop and keep going? By the time we get home, we have totally forgotten how we started this day in bliss, harmony, peace, and love. The world of appearances becomes our reality because we bought into it. We stayed in it. How do we get back? Stop this negative attitude that we have fallen into. We simply get back to our spiritual practice. It is always there waiting for us, always. If we continue to practice it daily, it makes us happier, stronger, and at peace and harmony once again. Every little bit we do daily is better than nothing. We now have the expanded awareness, and it starts to maintain itself throughout the entire day. Things come up, sure they do, but we can bless it and let it go. Isn't that a better way to go? Just, okay, I'm done with that. Move on with my day. Stay in my focused area of peace and harmony. Pretty soon it becomes a habit, a good habit. So now we're out there again in our expanded awareness, another day, and here comes this huge wave of negativity rolling toward you. You can see it coming. Only this time, we decide to go under the wave. We go under the wave and let it roll on past us because it doesn't own us. It doesn't control us. We just go under, let it roll on by, and go on with our day. I have a relative that has called me in the past, and usually when they call me, it's usually because they have a problem or something's upset them. And now for some reason, they want to upset me at the same time so they have company. And it goes on and on and on with conversation. So now when that person calls, I usually don't answer the phone on purpose. I'll let it go to the voicemail. And on my phone, the voicemail will go forever. And this person used the entire voicemail to tell me all this disaster that's going on. So I give it about 20, 30 minutes, and then I pick up the phone and call the person back. She goes, oh, I said, how are you? She goes, oh, it's over now. Everything's fine now. Oh, I'm sorry I missed that tornado with you. But misery loves company sometimes. You know, she said, you didn't help me very much by not being in it with me. And I said, well, I'm here now. What can I do to help you fix this? We start to believe again and to realize that we are in charge of our life, our day, our mood, our peace, our harmony. We are in charge. We are the tennis racket. And so, as so-called negative things come our way, traffic, work, a project, shopping, going to the checkout, you know, and shopping, and you got 1,000 people ahead of you. Well, okay, it's not 1,000. It feels like 1,000 when I'm checking out. I got 3 people ahead of me. I'm going, oh, but I'm working on my patience and keeping that on the right course as well. But those things that are stressors to us, whatever they are nothing to us because we maintain our peace and harmony now because of our spiritual practices. These things no longer bother us. Our spiritual daily practices keep us in improved awareness of our minds. Things that were better than nothing now become better than everything because of our practice. Our renewed, expanded awareness is working in all circumstances at this point. We become the examples for others on how to live, love, and laugh daily because we are on this planet for a very short time, some longer than others. So if people are asking you, where do you get this positive attitude? Where do you keep this harmony and peace? Where do you get this? Tell them about the Positive Living Center. Tell them to show up and we'll add them to this fabulous teaching that we have. And so it is. Thank you. Can we bring this down for you?
Sure. Unless they want to look at the wall. Go.
Try.
Great. Thank you, Joe. I'm not a tennis player. I think you have some of my notes too. Yes, probably. I do so much better because I wonder, if I don't have those notes. Thank you, Hunter. Yes. The mind. Oh, and then I have some of yours. I love spontaneity and being in the now and having that sense that there's more humor here than we really know. Yeah. And I like the idea. I don't play tennis, but I just kept thinking of the word love when you're doing your scores. So.
I love you, but I'm beating you.
Everything's a game, right? Next is our offertory, and I believe, do we get to hear Lori Ballard again? No?
I always thought I was after the spiritual thought, but
Oh, well, we can do that.
I'm in the flow.
Yeah, no, I'm my notes are mixed up. So that's the way that is. The offertory. Is there two volunteers that would like to help with the offertory?
One more?
Nothing more.
Oh,
Here comes Leo.
oh, good. Leo. Leo.
How are you, my sister?
Here you go. And I'll read this as your, yeah, just the divine love flowing through me blesses and increases all that I give and all that I receive. And we are so grateful. Thank you. We want to thank you for financially supporting the Positive Living Center. We are a nonprofit organization, and that your generosity helps support this space, and it helps us to grow and make things more and more available to improve and change and maintain. We're really grateful for that. Thank you, Leo. So we miss you because you know the whole routine. I'm still in training.
What was that right? Isn't, well, now I get confused because we only get to do one song.
Oh, well.
Maybe you're trying to phase us out totally now.
So there's a reminder for those that are on Zoom that they can also donate through the green button on the iFocus. Is that right, LJ? And that their Missy might be able to, her hands are up in the air, to put the information on for donating through Zoom. And we're really fortunate to have each other.
Yeah.
Can we have some music?
Well, I'd love to. First, I want to congratulate Joe on being a reverend. Yeah. And just because you had that Rev in front of your name now, your talk was fabulous. You know? And funny about the tennis and the ball, the tennis paddle or the ball, it's Martin Knopfler does a song, it's the windshield or the bug. You know? So yours is a much nicer analogy, I think. Yeah, but that's the Rev in you. Matter of fact, is there anyone left here who isn't a reverend? You better start working on it, Patty. Well, I started out, I'm learning to really go with the flow in life a lot more. And so therefore I'm a lot more relaxed usually. I don't sweat as much, happier. And I do what Joe says. I just don't hang out with people anymore. That's not true. But anyway, here's a song I'm going to do by Kate Wolf. Seemed to be appropriate for our this month here.
Friends all gathered round, there's something I must say. What brings us all together here has blessed us all today. Love has made a circle that holds us all inside. Strangers are as family, and loneliness can't hide. You must give yourself to love. Love is what you're after. Open up your heart to the tears and laughter, and give yourself to love. Give yourself to love. I've walked these mountains in the rain. I've learned to love the wind. I've been up before the sunrise to watch the day begin. And I always knew I'd find you, though I never did know how. Like sunshine on a cloudy day, you stand before me now. You must give yourself to love. If love is what you're after, open up your heart to the tears and laughter, and give yourself to love. Give yourself to love. Love is born in fire and planted like a seed. Love can't give you everything, but it will give you what you need. Love comes when you're ready. Love comes when you're afraid. It will be your best teacher, the best friend you've ever made. You must give yourself to love. Love is what you're after. Open up your heart to the tears and laughter, and give yourself to love. Give yourself to love. You must give yourself to love. If love is what you're after, open up your heart to the tears and the laughter, and give yourself to love. Give yourself to love.
Thank you very much.
Marvelous. Yeah, if we're playing Joe's tennis, we'll give ourselves up to love, right? Wow. Does anyone have any announcements to make? Sandy West.
I just want to say we're going to do the annual meeting right after service, so if you'll stay here, we're going to do a fast one and then.
Fast one. Whoa. Any other announcements? So on the second Saturday of the month, we have are you going to be doing your flute circle?
Yes.
Yes. So the second Saturday of the month at 2 o'clock, there's a flute circle. And then at 4 o'clock, there's a drum circle. And you're welcome to come. You don't have to have a drum. You don't have to even play an instrument. You can just sit and listen and take in the vibes. And everyone's welcome. Are there any classes, LJ, that you've got going?
Not right now.
Okay. Okay. And this is all my big questions, right? If anyone would like to have a prayer treatment, I believe Sandy West will be here to sit quietly and put that positive energetic on something that you might be working on that seems remote. And sometimes we just need that extra cushion of positive, loving energy to help us get through and know to our core that anything is possible, right? So prayer treatment. And Joe Bull, Reverend Joe Bull, is our head practitioner. And we have prayer treatments. If you contact him, you could just go to the iFocus and everyone is listed there. And then he sends out your prayer request for your health, your spirit, your physical body, your mental body. And that prayer works, especially when we do this collectively, especially when we have that heart, that energetic, that helps bring things together. And that's what I think the PLC does, brings it together. And then we have the little frog box in the back, and that also is available. Write your note down there, and we'll work on it for you. So there's that. And there is the heart-to-heart. You can contact me or any one of the ministers if you need some help, you want to talk, if you have something that's going on and you might need some direction. We're here for each other, not just ourselves. And Sandy, I have no idea who the next week's speaker is.
Me.
Sandy's the next week's speaker. I asked the right person, right? And so our dear beloved Sandy West will be speaking. And if you would like to say with me the prayer of protection. The light of God surrounds me. The love of God enfolds me. The power of God protects me. The presence of God watches over me. The energy of God is me. And wherever I am, God, Goddess is. And all is well. And so it is. Would you pray us out, Sandy? What do you see my notes here?
Oh, I wouldn't be able to find my way in that. Oh, if you'll close your eyes, please, and take a deep breath. And let's just focus on the God in everything. Think of the beauty you were able to observe on your way to church this morning. The beauty of nature, the sun out, the blue sky, coming to be with friends and companions, allowing that life, that living to be what we are. to accept the gift of being incarnate in this world, for it is a gift. Accept the gift of the learnings and the becomings, for we are blessed to have these experiences. And when you leave this today, take that feeling with you, that sense of joy, that sense of the beauty, that sense of when you see the beauty out, we're all one. So you're seeing the beauty within you too. Give thanks for this beauty that's everywhere. Give thanks and blessings and accept it. And say with me, please, and so it is.
Mhm. We thank everyone for being here today. Grace, balance, harmony, right there. You got it. We come together and we share, and we learn to laugh and we learn to love, and we learn more and more about ourselves as we become our whole holy selves. I am grateful for you, for every person that's here. And I thank you for joining the Positive Living Center. I don't know, do you have another song, Lori? You want to play us out? She's done. Okay. So have a great Sunday. And
We're starting our meeting.
the meeting is going to start right now, I guess. Okay, everybody in Zoom, are you ready for the meeting? You're going to stay, or if you don't want to, you don't have to. Okay.